Should be close.
And there he is.
Here
We
we
are
go.
live.
I had to do that to get the volume.
Hmm. All right, so we are live on this Good Tuesday. Finally, we are here. Let me see as soon as mine pop up, because you know we're on a delay on
We
the
there.
phone.
We there. We got three
Mm-hmm.
people in here.
All right, so we are live. Um, yeah, everybody feeling good? We're gonna go straight into it because we are. We back. We are back. First day of spring has. Well, yeah.
Excuse me, Dan.
Spring is here. And we are back live on this Good Tuesday, Tangy Tea of Life. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host, Veronica, back with you on this Good Tuesday. Like I said, the first day of spring. Yeah, this is where we talk about any and everything. Co-host Victor, that's your name tonight.
I'm sleepy. Just call me Mr. Sleepy.
Mr. Sleepy tonight is back with us. Also, Brother Fatine, all the way from WBLS radio station New York, is with us. And we have Destiny back tonight with us. Let me see. Destiny, where's your camera? Okay, so y'all sharing cameras tonight?
Red.
Red.
There it is.
There we go.
All right,
I-
so I know me and
Oh.
Vic talked, and I know he worked, and I know this young lady worked, but we're gonna have to. I know, and we had a little technical difficulties, but we're gonna pick up this energy, or I'm gonna push somebody off a cliff and get y'all to throw a snowball at me or something.
Oh, not the
Let's go.
snowball. Not
Yeah.
the snowball.
Yeah, got to be something there. Got to be something. Definitely. Got to pick up this energy.
Yeah, you know. I don't know what's going on for teen. It's Tuesday. First
Tornado Tuesday. That's what I
March.
called it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Tornado Tuesday.
Tornado Tuesday.
There you go. Stormy Monday for BB King and Tornado Tuesday for Tangy T.
Okay, I like the way you say tangy tea.
There you go. Hey, you got to put a little sultry in there after 8 o'clock. Come on now. This is love season, spring.
Oh yeah.
Things are being pollinated right now.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Bloom some flowers. Let's
Alright.
go. Let's go.
All right, who's out there already? Hey, Miss Jacqueline. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Ann. Hey, is that Marlene? Hey, Marlene. Hey, Tim. Hey, Tim. Hey, Mommy Alice.
Hey, I gotta say, hey, Sister Jacqueline.
You know, Tim be getting on my nerves. Yes. Hey, I hope everyone is having a great day. Well, evening. It is the first day of spring. So, yeah, we are back, ready to talk about some things, some topics. We have an email letter. So, how was everyone's weekend? Let's talk about that.
So
You
I'm gonna
moan.
tell you, my weekend was good. I had a chance to, eat dinner with y'all this weekend, which was dope.
Mhm.
But what was doper about it, I met one of the viewers who I thought was one kind of way, but she definitely ain't. By far, she left an impression on me. Probably one of the top 5 people I've met in the last 8 years.
Mhm.
Miss Chachasta, or whatever her last name is.
Mom.
So,
Mhm.
so Miss Mommy, Miss Ingrid, like I got there at like 1 o'clock, 1:10, somewhere up in there, and I don't think we left at 5 o'clock.
Close to that.
It's close to 5, and all we did was just sit in there and run our mouth in these people's stove. It was dope, man. I want to say shouts out to her from Saint Thomas,
St. Vincent.
Saint Vincent Island. Yeah, Saint Vincent Island. You know what I'm saying? That's a 7-hour flight from Miami. 12-hour ride from Florence. So yeah, shouts out to Miss Ingrid.
Hey, mommy. Yes, and she is definitely on here already. Hey,
Mhm.
Nicole. Hey, Sly. Thank you so much for the stars. We appreciate you. So, how was your weekend for team?
I mean, I got to piggyback off of Victor, all of us getting together um, this Saturday, try out this new Jamaican spot. Some liked it, some didn't, but I enjoyed it. I ate all my curry chicken. You know, I'm from Brooklyn, so I get a chance to dabble in some of the Jamaican and Caribbean cuisine. There you go. But I have to follow you, Victor. Sister Ingrid made an impression, and then to come to find out that she was from Brooklyn, where I'm from. I'm from Flatbush. She was from East Flatbush, and to know some of the. Of course, we from the city and we move around. We know some of the same places, so that was refreshing. I must say it was refreshing over the weekend. So I just have to say, good for us to get together as we should do more as the weather is starting to break. And just a good weekend on there. Work with Sunday, and then I just relax. So that's that.
I
Absolutely.
think one of the dopest things that she said that I appreciated more than anything is the honest criticism that we both asked for. She gave her honest opinion on our personality. She gave us an honest opinion on our thoughts, and she even brought up past shows where she, not to say she had an issue, but it was more or less questions, and that is the type of stuff that I feel like in order for me to grow, that is something that I actually embrace. If somebody, I feel like I can take criticism to an extent as long as it's not personal. But if I'm saying something on here that that some people want clarity, I feel like you should be able to um, jump in my inbox and say something because I'm not bigger than that. We talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's one way or the other, but in a sense, we are public. So if we're saying something and it's not in the comments that we are addressing, and you want to directly address somebody and get further clarity, my inbox is definitely open for that type of dialogue.
Right. Let me just say this real quick. I agree with you, Victor.
Man, I thought you was about to tell me something,
I
man.
was about to kiss smooch you. Let me just say this, and I've said this to Victor. I'm saying it to Veronica now and Sister Destiny that I was watching the podcast, and I'll leave this for later. And I shared it out there with Michael Basin. But I've been watching a lot of podcasts because I'm doing more podcasts out here, and I'm really thinking about doing this after dark. I can't use that name since Basin has used that. And I'm not going to bite that name. But on the serious side, I think one of the things is we're doing a podcast and we're talking to people and we have our personal experience, but you got to realize people are writing to us and asking us questions. Sometimes it's specific on how we will do something, and then we have to learn to generalize. So if you don't do something, say that. Listen, I don't do that way, but you got to realize that other people don't move the way we move. And sometimes when we're talking about males and females, I can talk about other men. Even though I don't move like some men, I understand why some move like that. And I say to our sisters, you may not move like certain sisters, but you may understand because you have girlfriends, you have cousins, you have family. And we got to remember not to take it personal. At the end of the day, I like that time. You can come at me, you can come at me on my personal view. Oh, 15, that's you. I don't do it that way. But if it worked for me, I'm gonna say it me. But I can do the generalization because people are coming to us. They want to hear our views, and sometimes they're coming to us for advice. They're writing letters. They want to hear our advice, general and personal, so that they can sometimes take that and then pull the good and leave what they consider something they can use.
That's exactly right. Thank you, Fatine. Destiny, how was your weekend?
Girl, work.
You gotta wake
I
up.
work,
Wake up.
work.
Wake up. Wake up.
I'm
Wake
up.
up.
Well, the pollen's kicking my butt too for team. So
Okay. Yeah, you did say that.
the pollen's really.
You should have told me. I'd have bought you a Zyrtec.
I got Zyrtec.
Okay. All right.
With me, I have to start taking it before it gets to the point that it's at. So I'm being reactive instead of proactive.
Because you look like it's that time of the month. That's why I didn't want to say
Oh
too
no,
much.
don't do that. It's not.
I
I'm
mean,
just drained from the pollen.
that's a real thing. That's a real
Oh
thing.
yeah.
I'm conscious. I got two daughters. I know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
What you humming about?
All right, so let me tell y'all about what happened to me over the weekend.
Oh, you got pollinated? Victor hit the bell. You said the first day of spring twice, so I don't know.
Okay, so getting ready for church Sunday morning, right?
You get pollinated.
So it
No,
wasn't what you expected.
no,
right?
she wasn't. Far away from pollinated. Unless the Holy Spirit pollinated, but that's another story.
So I'm getting ready for church. I threw me a little turkey sausage in the air fryer, getting ready, rushing, late for church. But anywho, so took the sausage out the air fryer, put it on my little slice of bread, bit into the sausage, and it burst in the grease. I have third degree. Where are you going?
You said you bit into the sausage and it burst. Let your mind go.
Oh my gosh, y'all might have
All over your face. I can just see it all over. I mean, all you bit into it and all over your face. That hot. It was running down your nose and your mouth. Ooh, that sounds.
Oh my goodness gracious.
It wasn't meant to be perverted.
Well, you said burst
I
after
was
you.
telling y'all what happened to my lip. Like,
Oh,
you
okay.
saw, right? Like,
I didn't
It's-
notice it until you pointed it out.
I have third degree burn
Oh,
on my
I'm
top
sorry.
lip. Like, I'm still cute though. But
I thought never mind. Go ahead.
What did you think?
You need a lot of lubrication. A lot of kissing will take care of that. Remember, there's
Anywho.
healing principles in saliva.
For the kids out there, make sure you do not put.
Put what? Put what? Where? Put what? Where?
Hot sausages.
No. Put what? Where?
No, forget this story.
You
Moving on. I just can't.
should have stayed. You should have stick with pollination. You've been good.
I can't. Okay, moving on. So,
Ingrid said, "Lord Jesus."
Aunt Tim said you X-rated tonight. He's tuned in. You got his attention.
Sam, I can't stand you. No, I was trying to tell, but you know what? Let's move on. So I had a conversation with a young guy today, right? So, got some topics. Actually, I spoke with two guys today, and
Moving on up. Okay. I told you I'm ready.
Oh, man,
Let's
I'm
go.
telling you. And you know what today is? Today is National Less Laugh Day.
There
So,
you go.
Here we
I'm
go.
right with it.
So here we go. So
Like, Victor trying to sit over there all cool.
I know, right? Let me see which one I want to go to first. Let me see. Most men try to date outside their means. Sometimes they feel like some of us men want more than what we should. We have to be realistic now in life. Date women that that's in your means, I guess. Does it look? Let me see how I wrote this. Play a factor. Does looks play a factor in decision making when it comes to dating?
Of course it does. But I've always said that there are women that I feel like are too beautiful for my taste. There are, because I know what comes with that. I'm not saying that I dealt with anybody ugly, but what I'm saying when I say too beautiful, it's more or less the presentation of the merchandise. If I see you and you exposed and you got on the BBLs and all that, I'm not attracted to that. Even though that is nice to look at, that's not something I'm gonna shoot towards. I'm more or less would want a woman who can be beautiful, just regular, and then we get home, and that's when the sexiness can come out. But somebody like Kim K, which I think is very, very, very beautiful, I couldn't be with nobody like that because it just comes with too much.
Interesting. So since it's kind of at us guys, I'll go next, Vic. Looks do come into play. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's the first thing that usually, I mean, a personality can attract, but looks has to be there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Um, there are sisters that I've been around that I felt that was out my league in the past that I would kind of stay away from until I got a chance to know them. I was in Howard University for homecoming one year as visiting, and there was a young lady, very attractive, and she had a car and this, that, and the other. And I just was out of college and just getting into work, and I wasn't trying to kick it, but she showed a little interest and we kicked it a little back and forth. Um, but overall, now I'm not talking personally. Overall, some men feel that is a challenge and feel that they got enough good game to pull a woman like that, to pull somebody out of their league, and that help boost their ego, and especially the men that are not scared for rejection.
Hmm.
And so, for me personally, I would stay away from some that I considered out of my league. That, like you said, what comes with that, that you just don't want. I don't want to use the word drama, but there's a lot of extras sometimes that come with that. And then there's some down to earth women that feel that they don't get approached due to the fact that they have a very prestigious job, or in the limelight, drive this type of car. So, but I gave you my opinion there.
So I want to kind of, so you kind of you trying to spark something in my mind. It depends on what I'm looking for. Let me kind of amend what I said. Um, if I'm looking for a relationship, I don't want to over sexualize woman. But if I'm honestly just looking to see if I still got it, yeah, I'm a shoot. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like, and this may be arrogant, but I really feel like you give me 5 minutes and I shoot at your draws. I really feel like I can get somewhere with you. I might not can't get it, but I think I can leave a lasting impression because I try to expose myself to a variety of things. So I really feel like there isn't a subject that we might not have in common. So, I've worked on this for 42 years. So meeting women really ain't, I should say, hard. It's just keeping our attention to each other is the hardest part.
Mm. With Veronica and Destiny, real quick, what Victor said about that lasting impression, that's something that I always try to leave, and that's where I was able to be able to deal with women that I dealt with in a relationship, intimate or friends. But the bottom line is the first thing is I want to leave the lasting impression. And if I was attracted to you, I'm not going to sit there and say, "Oh, I don't want to get with you." But I know that I can't sleep with every woman, and I respect every woman. So that's how I move. But I wanted to leave that lasting impression because I don't know which way this is going to go. But any way that it goes, relationship, intimacy, or friendship, I always want to leave that common denominator of leaving that lasting impression, what you just said, and making sure that's a good lasting impression,
Oh
not a
yeah.
bad lasting impression.
Oh yeah, big facts, man.
And um, Tyrone says, a pretty face gets you in the door, but that attitude determines how long you stay.
Good point. Yes,
Big
excellent.
facts.
There you go.
And the question was, does looks play a factor in decision making when it comes to dating? Destiny, you want to answer that?
Well, I already answered it on previous shows. With me, it don't matter. I don't really look at physical attraction. I'm attracted to people for their vibe. So you can be ugly, you can be fat, you can be skinny. It don't matter to me. If I vibe with you, then you're for me. But if I don't vibe with you, then
Mm.
that's that. How about you?
Well, I'm definitely looking for someone like a Wesley Snipes or,
Oh, excuse
someone
me.
that,
Pollen. Sorry, Veronica. Just a little pollen.
because these fine brothers, they,
Mm, they be for the street.
yeah, I'm not looking for,
Can't handle them.
it's not that you can't handle like everybody want the same dude.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm at the age where I'm not getting ready to fight over someone. Okay, let me stop lying. Um,
Thank you, cause what the hell? 'Cause
looks
there's some good, fine brothers out there that are dedicated, great men, and they feel what uh, great, fine women go through. That they're looked and stereotyped and put in a bad light.
yeah, I mean looks matter, but it's not like that's all I'm looking for. Like you got to have something else to go along with those
Oh
looks.
yeah, we know that.
So,
Well, we know that. But keep going.
and not talking about that what you're thinking, okay? But other things like you got to be able to conversate with me.
That's true.
You got to be able to conversate. You got to know how to handle your money. You have to know how to treat me like
The princess.
the princess that I am.
Okay.
Thank you, Fatine.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of things that go into factor when trying to get to meet someone. And yeah, yeah, okay.
And you can't
I
be
think
working with a battery, right?
definitely not.
Okay. Just what I mean, you usually have it with you, but since we've been here, you haven't had your battery
What?
or your fake cigarette.
Yeah, I need to bring my cigarettes back.
Oh my
'Cause
god.
half the time, half the time I need those right here. I think I put two questions in the one that he asked. Because it was like most men try to date outside their means, like dating a woman that makes 100K when they only make 40K. Or
No, no.
would you do that?
Um.
But go ahead, you because you saying no, but
So first of all, I'll say this. I've never actually. I'm when I say shoot at or shot at. This is a term of me. It's just a metaphor. I've never shot at a woman based on what she made because a lot of times I don't know what you make until I meet you. But I will say that may keep me a little more interested if I know what you make or I know what you do. Let me just say that in the initial. Um, I've only met, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I've only met two women in my life that made more money than me, which it don't matter because I really feel like, in a sense, I don't know if I could handle that because the two women I did met that that made more money than me. One of them little boyed me. You know what I'm saying? I told you the story when we went. Old girl, she's a psychologist, got a little practice up there in Smithfield or whatever, and the date didn't turn out the way I thought it should have. You know what I'm saying? And the other one, I'ma just leave that one alone, but it was what it was.
So this is this is not a tough one, but I go back, and I look when I got with my late wife. She was working. She wasn't making a lot of money, but she was making enough to support herself at that particular time. But then when we started to have children, I really didn't want her to work with the challenges of trying to raise our daughters, trying to go out there and deal with a demanding work world, and at the same time trying to deal with sickle cell disease. So she wound up staying home and raised the children, and it was a struggle financially there. Um, what I traded is hindsight now. I wouldn't trade it because of the happiness, because I don't know what I would have met if I didn't have the happiness. Now in life, I'm in a different stage now. So does it matter? It's some wasn't going to come into play, and I'm going to tell you why. Because what I want now and what my goals are in this short term that I'm trying to do that in, and if we're building this together, then yeah, we got to bring our income or resources together to make this happen. And remember, the same way that I have two daughters. She may have some children, and we want to possibly leave something for our children. We got to put ourselves in a way that we have something for us, and if we can set up something for our children. Remember, our children, it's not a necessity for us to do that because they have to live their life. But if I could put myself in a certain position to help my children or leave them something, I definitely would like to do that, make sure. But I want to put myself at this stage because I want to travel. I want to do things now. My children are grown. You understand what
so
I'm
are you
saying?
saying you want to
I
date
want somebody
someone?
that brings something to the table that we can continue to build on. Yes, both of us.
So I don't know who Nicole Harris is, but Nicole, I have been watching your comments for about the last 2 to 3 weeks, and I was trying not to say much, but she says Money is not an issue. We can grow and build together. Um, that's cool to say. And like I said, I can only speak from my experiences. But when there's a gap between us this big, who's growing? And we're strictly talking about money. When there's a gap this big between us, and I'm already established, there isn't that much in a sense that I can grow.
Mm-hmm.
I can bring you up here, and we're strictly talking about finances. I can bring you up here and make your life easier, but I've always I like to date women that's convenient. When I say convenient, um, how much access do I have to you when I need you? If I can't call you at 10, 15, 11 o'clock in the morning, there are times in stressful situations I have at my job that I feel like if you my partner, I want to talk to you. Like a nurse, I don't think like my children's mother's a nurse. You know what I'm saying? When we were together and I didn't have access to her like that, I tended to, do whatever. So I really feel like there has to be, for my convenience, she has to be conveniently available for me at any given time. Not to be at my beckoning call like some people try to turn it into. Basically, what I'm saying is if she got a job at Dollar General, I'm cool. I just need for you to stop ringing up for team, pick up the phone, and say, Vic, what's wrong?
It's okay. So money really
It don't. I mean, it
affect.
it yeah, it really never has.
So
But
you can't use. So are you saying you agreeing with Nicole?
no, what I'm saying is that she said money is not an issue. We can grow and build.
Yeah.
So I am, but there's a small aspect. What I'm saying is, if we're growing together and we're strictly talking about money, if I'm here and she's here, we're going to always do this. Eventually, she's going if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, she's going to catch me. And then what happens after that, I don't know. So that's just what I'm saying. Like if there's a big gap between incomes, one is going to get more out of it than the other. Financially. Financially.
One of the things when I used to come down here, just remember, I remember in a New York New York mindset is when I used to come down here, I knew I made more money than a lot of people that I associated with. But I saw down here that people tend to be more happy. They tend to live more in their means. They may not have made as much money as me. They may not have had some of the things I had, but they seem to be more happy. And I took that in consideration, realizing what Nicole just said. Things can change with money. Money is materialistic things. So that's why I said there's a balance. It depends on your mindset and your goals and where you're trying to go. Because I've seen some people that don't have a lot, but they're so content and happy because they live within their means. They know what their goals are, and they're content and happy there.
Yeah. And we talk about this. I'm not going to say a lot on the show, but I was talking to another brother today, and he was saying how women is not dating is not the same. He was saying because women just boldly come out and say, "Hey, I need for you to help me do this. I need some money to do this. I need some money to do that. Or what your pockets look like." I'm like, what? Like, but he said that this is today's women. Like they want somebody that's going to take care of them
Sponsor.
instead of looking for, like someone to have to grow with or whatever, to have a real relationship with.
So let me just respond to that. So um, I get what the brother's saying, and I'm gonna just say this to you all women, and I'm gonna just be straight up. Y'all can take it or leave it. I don't give a damn. I really don't care. Is that if that happens, and that brother starts to feel, all you doing is just taking, 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 and there a woman that come by that don't have as much, but show him appreciation, give him attention, that's gonna draw him there. And y'all women say, why men do this? I'm giving you that. When a brother runs into somebody like that, and then they run into somebody that's just more on this even level, They gravitate towards that because we all want, women and men, we want to be appreciated. And if you
Mhm.
take, we gotta also be recharged. So, yeah, man cheating, he this, that, and other. He's talking to this woman. You pushed his ass over that line to do that.
Whew, and that's going right into the next question
All
that
right, let's roll. I
that
told you I'm with it. I'll tell you it. Let's go.
so a brother says, if her man cheated on her, do a woman really know who is up next? Because he's saying, just like y'all always say, does not a man does not cheat because of feelings, but women cheat. When women cheat, their feelings are involved. Is
Emotions, right?
yeah. So he's saying, when a woman really a woman really know who she's going to be dealing with next?
I think y'all should answer that question.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's,
looking at.
that's really to y'all. You
Do
know,
you know,
No.
like he's trying to say that we have an eye for the next person already.
No. Because if I'm still in that relationship, it's because I'm trying to make it work. I'm not looking for an exit plan or the next person. I'm trying to continue to grow with the person I'm with. So I'm not eyeing anyone else. I'm trying to fix this. Now, when I get out of that, then yeah, I'll be wandering a little bit. But as far as why we still together, no.
Even though he cheated.
Hmm.
Okay.
What about you? As you sound
No,
like you, I might be.
no. Well, I tend to try to go the entire 100 miles, yards, whatever you want to call it. I'm in it for the long term. Like I want to do anything possible to make that relationship work. Now, when I get both feet outside the door, that's another thing. But I'm not gonna just, and I'm talking about from previous relationships. Like you had to really like drive me to that place where I don't want to have anything else to do with you, for my eyes to go somewhere else.
Mm, mm.
So I don't. To answer his question, I don't think we already know who we're getting ready to step out with.
Mhm.
You know, unless someone is giving us some attention. When, like I said, when both of my feet is out the door, I'm like, okay, well, this one might be.
All right. So for both of y'all,
That was
talking.
for Fatine.
Yeah, so
I know where you going.
Okay.
So for both of y'all, trust me because I'm going to go here, and I respect what you say, and I agree with you because I can't tell you what's in your heart and what you will not do. But I really got a serious question for you, and you're in a relationship. I don't know if you're gonna answer it truthfully or this is who you are. If your relationship is not going well, but you still 10 toes down in that relationship, but there's somebody at your job that's not coming at you, but he treats you the way you want to be treated. You're not going to tell me that it's going to be times that you at home that you ain't going to think about this person, that the way they treat you, the way they compliment you, the way they give you the respect, and you know things ain't not going at home, but you're still in that relationship. You're not going to tell me that your mind may not wander a little bit and just think about the person.
I mean,
You may think about it, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to pursue it or
Right.
I'm trying to go and be like, oh, well, this could be the next candidate. That's not it. I'm just looking at it like, dang, this is what I need from him.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I get this from him? It's not necessarily me
mm-hmm.
wanting that man. It's just like, why can't I get this at home? Basically, for me.
Got it. Go ahead, Veronica.
What was the question?
Basically, if you, like you said, you until you leave that relationship, to pursue someone. I'm not talking about pursuing someone. I'm talking about being in a relationship, and it's, you know that it's almost like a dead end, but you're still there trying to make it work, like Destiny said. And then there's somebody at the job or at church that just treats you the way you like to be treated, and really is not flirting with you, but just treating you the way a woman holds the door, compliments you, notice certain things. Oh, I notice your hairstyle. Oh, I notice those are new shoes. Oh, I notice a new dress. And you be like, I don't get this at home. You're not gonna tell me your mind don't wander to think about that, because at times when we're going through things, when we're going through bad things, we want to feel or think about pleasurable things or things that put a smile on our face. Would your mind wander to that person? Doesn't mean you're trying to get with them, but would you it wander as a more pleasing thought for you?
I mean, I feel like we all think about things. We all think about things sometimes that we're not supposed to think about. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But
Who say you don't supposed to think about these things? Where do we get that from? We can fantasize about why do we keep saying we don't supposed to think about these things?
because I feel like if I'm in a relationship with someone, right, I shouldn't be thinking about another man.
Okay.
I shouldn't be thinking, oh, I could have been doing this with John. Well, I don't know why I be using that name. Jesus.
Oh Lord, you didn't open
There's
it
more than
up.
one John in the world now.
Yeah, that's true. But there's only one D John.
There's only one John, but
Only
there's more
D
than
John.
Lee John.
D John.
But yeah, like I feel like if I'm dating someone, like I want my mind on them. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like it'll be wrong for me to think this probably what got me in positions that I've been in because I put so much into one person when I'm dealing with somebody. Like I put my all in that person. Maybe I should start go- Victor.
You know, the reason why I ask this because just in college, just being around women. See, a lot of times when I give comments, I'm giving you comments because I've been around my female cousins. Shout out to my cousin Pat because I saw her watching, and I've learned from the women in my family. I watch my moms and my aunts, more of my aunts, how they moved, which were older. I've been around my female cousins where I watch, and they've taught me things. And I've been around young girls or women in my my surroundings in college, this, that, and other, and I've heard them talk. Hanifa, my late wife, told me certain things that past relationships, certain things happened that wasn't going good, and some of the things. Not to say she was justified or right, but I understood why she made that decision to do A, B, and C, and I understood. She's human.
Yeah.
And she has feelings.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Somebody cheats on you. Somebody got a baby on you.
Yeah.
People feel a way, but they still trying to make this work. But then somebody hollering and hollering and hollering. Like sometimes you just say, you know what? Heck
Yeah.
with it. I just need this night. I need to breathe. I need to exhale.
So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about if things are not good at the home,
Right.
or are we talking about
Things are not good, but y'all are still there.
yeah.
Hey,
Like I
cuz.
said, I want to stick it out and make it work, do anything that I can to make, but when I see that there's no way of getting out of the mess that we're in, I mean, yeah,
So I'll say this.
one can get that ear.
I kind of feel where you coming from because you know women want a man that is, in my opinion, women want a man who is into them. But do you understand what that comes with? A lot of times, I tell women, you can't handle my full attention. You can't. Because if you want my full attention, you got it. Because everything comes in, everything that I do runs through you. Not to say that I'm stuck on you or sprung like that, but how was your day? This, that, and the other. How you feeling? Get off work. Whoop de whoop. We on the phone. We doing this. We doing that. Eventually, something else has to happen. But I understand where you coming from because when you lose that, then you don't have anything else to occupy your time. So if this person here was, in a sense, your scapegoat from reality, when you lose that, then it's like, shit, I lost everything. Now I got to start all back over again. So it's hard to kind of turn yourself away from not being how you always been. But when that happens, it's like, well, shit, I should have shot at her. I should have inboxed this person when every opportunity I had. But who in the hell goes into a relationship saying, well, we're going to break up in 7 months? Nobody do that.
No.
You mentioned about no one something. What did you said about your can't get your whole attention? What did you say?
What I said is that
I just need that.
I tell women, you can't handle my full attention.
Okay.
Some have, but most they can't.
So this is not to you.
Go ahead. No.
This is not to you. No. This is interesting because a lot of what I'm getting ready to say, a lot of men can't do this. And I again, and this is personal. When I use the word personal, meaning that it worked for me and Hanifa, but what happens is some of her female friends were single, some of her female friends, whatever the situation were, and they couldn't get like advice from a man, so they turned to me. But of course, of course, it wasn't to the point where they jumped over her. This was something that was a mutual thing. Because if she didn't agree to it's not happening. And I'm not stepping across the bound. I'm not stepping across that line. Nor am I going to argue it for that. But it was times, like I said, I got a call 3 o'clock in the morning. Her girlfriend called me about something that she was going through physically. It happened to be cancer, but she called me, and Hanif was laying right next to me. And so, but Hanifa knew that because she was like, Fatine is that guy that will come up to the hospital and deal with that for you or whatever because he does it for me. She accepted that. And so what I'm saying is that sometimes people don't get that full attention. That's why when we get in a relationship, friendships, we get a lot of things from different people. And when we get in a relationship, sometimes we cut friendships off. I'm not talking about past relationships, friendships off where we pull from friends. We pull from friends and we get advice from friends and things like that. And we tend to get in relationships. And because the insecurities of our partners, we have to cut those relationships off. And I don't think that's always beneficial, but you have to do what's beneficial for your relationship.
So, I'll say this since the camera cut to me in the middle of your monologue.
That's cool.
Thank you, Miss Mary. Um, in a sense, like I said, I feel like I'm an overthinker. So if I can prevent something that I think could happen, then that's what I'm gonna do. So when you're talking about severing friendships, in the early stages, like I said, previously, if we all have something established and a foundation already built, and I'm trying to build here, I feel like this foundation shouldn't change. I feel like, hey man, y'all, I got something going on over here. I met this girl, whoop, whoop, whoop. So as we're building and we get to a steady foundation, then we can start integrating everything else. But at the end of the day, this, not to say that y'all don't make me happy, but in a sense, this makes me happy. So I'm going to tend to stick a little bit more over here and pull back from over
It's
here.
called knowing your priorities,
You're
putting your
right.
priorities in place.
I
That's
agree
all
with
it
you.
is. That's it.
Nicole says some friends get in the way. Wait, she says some friends get in between your relationship,
That's a
and
fact.
that's true. Yeah.
I think, and this is just my opinion. I
We
think,
allow our friends to get in the way.
and in my opinion, when it comes to men, and I can only think what I think about women, but when it comes to men, I think a lot of us in our 20s messed up a lot of good relationships and ruined a lot of good people by looking at society saying, well, I'm young, I'm supposed to be doing this, 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 and this. No, 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 don't do that. Cause y'all do. I think y'all do the same thing, but I think you know when we're younger, we out here and we screwing around, sleeping around instead of trying to find something. And by the time you 30 or 40, you got so many miles on you that you damage goods here and here. So it's like, what are we really doing here? Like, I'm no longer a Ferrari. I'm a damn Hyundai. Not to say a Hyundai ain't a good car, but I'm still, maybe not the most desirable because I have so many road miles on me, or city miles instead of highway miles.
Mm-hmm. I do feel like because I don't think I became mean until like people started hurting me. So I do understand where you coming from. That's why I
That's
was
scar
like,
tissue, girl. That's scar tissue. You're building up scar tissue when you get hurt,
yeah.
and you gotta try to heal from that. And trying to heal from that, and and really properly healing is one thing. Trying to heal from that and getting in another relationship and building other scar tissue all around the place, you're all over the place.
Hmm.
You're one mess, and you're not good for yourself, and you ain't good for nobody else.
Hmm. But I can say that I have grown, over time. you
Hey, Shauna.
see what you went through, and you don't want to be that person anymore. But
Mm-hmm.
that's me, because I was mean. Like, a lot of people don't know that, but because I didn't show it outside of, you know, it's always this chipper Veronica when people,
Hmm.
excuse me, excuse I'm just saying, like, oh, did y'all get a taste of it? What are y'all trying to say here?
Nah,
All right.
look, I didn't know you all that
You
many
got a
years.
taste of something else.
She need a taste of something else. That's what she need. But
Uh,
that's another conversation, another
I mean, sometimes
time.
we have to, sometimes you have to put your feet down, because people will run over you if you allow it. So
Oh yeah.
sometimes I have to let Ronnie come out and be known,
Mm,
you know?
I
mm,
think there's a difference between being mean and being assertive. I think some people um, get it confused. If you got a point that you're trying to make and you gonna stand on that point, you asserting yourself. Being mean is just going out of your way, messing with people. And sometimes, 49% of the time, yeah, I try to be mean to keep what I think this person's intention is away from me. Like I said, I don't want to be for everybody. I don't want to walk into a room and know everybody, even though that does not happen all the time. But in a sense, sometimes, if you the popular guy, like Fatim is, and you going out to these big, fancy, nice places, sometimes you just want to walk in and just have a drink or have a meal and go on about your business.
Hmm. That's true.
I don't have famous friends, bro. Well, let me
Why
back up.
not?
I don't have public famous friends. I have famous friends, but not public famous friends.
Excuse
Cause,
me.
cause I say you. I was about to give you a shout out, but I'm gonna take that back.
Oh, Fatina, myself.
You.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Well, basically, I'm saying Fatim has a lot of public figures that's he knows personally, and I know some people who are local famous. So let me say that.
right, I appreciate that.
Hmm.
Let me just say this real quick. I don't want to get mushy. And I said, shout out to Shauna Sias. I do a morning podcast Monday through Friday, and she's part of that uh, podcast. So shout out because I see her making a comment. So to the women on the panel, and I've said this to Sister Veronica. In the short time I've known both of you, I've known Veronica longer than I've known you, Destiny. I've seen your growth, and I've seen your growth, and some of it you've talked about, some of it I've seen, and those are the things that we talk about on the show. Looking yourself in the mirror and making the adjustments with you, Destiny. And I told you straight up, even to the point I mentioned you to my daughter. And the reason why is because you kept it real. You kept it real. You look back at some of the things in your life and you made the adjustments to become a better person. And when that happens and you keeping it real, I don't like BS. I know when you talk a game, but you're lying behind your teeth. And when a person is being honest and they just seem to have a genuine heart, for me, I pour out to them. So for both of you sisters, I have so much admiration and respect. Sometimes we may disagree on something, but that don't take away for the love that I have for your sisters and for what you're trying to do in life. And I support y'all and stand behind y'all.
Oh,
Thank you, Fatine.
Fatima. What do you say, big?
All right, Shauna, start that. Stop it. Stop, Shauna. All right. Hey, handsome. All right, girl.
Thank you so much, Fatim. Yes, I
You're
mean,
welcome.
there's growth. You have to have growth in order to move forward, to move
Mhm.
on in life.
Right.
Like, I don't want to continue to stay in this old, in the, what did you call it? The future. What? No, not the future. The past. I don't want to
You
stay
don't
in
want
the.
to be the
I
You
don't
don't
override.
want.
want to be
Yeah, I
complacent.
don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I want someone to be able to notice. Oh, she's growing. She's. Mm, okay. Yeah. So we do have an email letter.
Yeah.
But let me touch on that for a second because I hear the growth thing a lot, um, and I feel like you know, however anybody looks at their life is how they look at their life. Um, but right now I feel like I plateaued, and I don't want to go any higher than where I am right now. And I definitely don't want to go any lower than what I am. Because right now I feel like I'm at peace. And anything above peace to me is death. And I'm not trying to kill myself or no shit like that. Or when I say kill myself, I'm talking about far as like socially. I'm talking about socially. So I feel like I plateaued. Um, do I want new people in my life? Probably yes. But there are some people that I feel like that I need to, maybe cut ties with. I don't consider that growth, cutting ties because I still know these people. I just feel like I'm changing, in a sense.
Victor, so I don't want to over intellectualize this because that's what you may say, and you have a right to say that. I look at life as like this: three stages. Either you regress, you stand still, or you progress. You use the word change. Change is movement. So change is either going backwards or you going forward.
That's a fact.
So even though you content, if you're changing, there's some type of movement. So there's always room for growth, even though you may be content where you at.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with being content. But the bottom line is when you are standing still and at rest, you're basically dead. So you're regressing or you're
Yes.
progressing. But standing still, a lot of us don't stand still. You may not look at it like that, but we don't stand still. We there is movement in our life.
Yeah, I want to be moving.
And that's great. So I want to comment on what's her name? Yo, Solace.
Shauna
Shauna
Sai.
Solace. She said this man too young to talk about plateau. Um, I don't think so because I understand what plateau means. I'm not trying to shoot at you, but I think a lot of times people want to age discriminate. And I'm not saying she is. That's just the best way I can describe what I'm thinking in my mind is saying that's age discrimination. There are terms, there are words, and there are things that I've experienced that I'm like, I don't want to do that again. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I say I feel like I plateaued because in a sense, I where I'm at right now is kind of where I want to stay. People look at marriage sometimes as a goal. To some people, it may be. I'm where I want to be. My kids straight. You know what I'm saying? My family good. I got a good relationship with who I need to have a good relationship. I'm prospering where I want to prosper. I want to stay there in this comfort zone. And in a sense, that's a plateau. That's exactly what a plateau is. There's no change. I want to stay here. 73 degrees is 73 degrees. I want to stay comfortable about room temperature. I don't want to be too hot and I don't want to be too cold.
Yeah, so a lot of people look at the word plateau is falling, but no, what plateau is you going up. You are going up,
No,
but
no,
then you
no.
hit. Wait, let me
Go
just finish.
ahead.
When you plateau, you come to a level. You come to a level there that you're comfortable at. And you're comfortable at that stage. That didn't mean you didn't go up. It didn't mean that you didn't grow. But when you got to a certain level, you basically put that sucker on cruise control, and that's where you at.
Yeah, that's I mean, a plateau can go this way and then you
Oh,
you
yeah.
level off. I mean, a plateau can go up and down. But yeah, Tyrone says, comfort is comfort. A lot of people find their happy place, and in a sense, I'm happy.
Right.
Where I'm at right now, what I got going on. Not to say that it can't change, but I'm cool. I'm cool right now.
Some people are there. Some people are there, and they're comfort and they're content. And when you get into that stage, you settle into that space.
Yeah.
You settle into that space, and I can't sit there and say that you're not wrong. I already explained the thing about movement. You're still moving. You're still growing because you know what growth is and why wisdom is. Wisdom is years and experience. So you're still growing. You understand what I'm saying? It's just that you're not pushing, you're not climbing, but you're still going through life and you're learning through those experiences that you continue to experience on a daily basis.
Yeah, but sometimes we can get too comfortable. Sometimes
Ow.
it can be too comfortable, and you start, um, and I'm gonna say comfortable in a relationship. You're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and it gets boring.
That's true.
And
Same
that's
like
when
dinner.
someone starts walking away because someone else is in that ear. And so sometimes boring can not is not a good place to be.
Yeah.
It depends on how you look at the situation.
Exactly. And you know, when you talk about sacrifice, I'm gonna just say that I'm transparent. So, like I said, me and Hanifa did hit, towards the end of the relationship, we did hit a little bump. And I never forget, she put on social media, she cooked something. She said, and she came at me. She said, well, I cooked this and, um, uh, yeah, we could make it spicy because you know who ain't in this house today. And she's right because she honestly sacrifice certain things that she may have wanted to appease us as a family. I'm not a person that's dealing with spicy food. You understand what I'm saying? So she wouldn't cook a lot of food spicy, but everybody else in my house likes spicy food, and she sacrificed. So you know what I'm saying? So sometimes people hold back
Hmm.
for different reasons. You understand? But sometimes we don't realize that when they're sacrificing for someone that they love, they care for, whatever. So it's relationships are just interesting,
Very.
and they're very interesting. But it's because the people that come together, it's your personalities, your goals, your mindset. It's a lot that's in play when two people come together. It's
Hmm.
we are worlds. We are worlds. We are a magnacosm of this world. 70% of what? Water in our body. We are worlds coming together. Sometimes we collide
Mhm.
and sometimes we move together.
So to comment on a few people and you, Veronica, I really feel like you can never get too comfortable. If you feel like I'm getting too comfortable in a relationship, then in my opinion, um, you're the one that needs to change. Um, when we get together, it's supposed to become easier. It should be easy for me to talk to you, easy for me to come to you. That's my comfort zone. I don't have um no inhibitions about coming to you the very first. I mean, excuse me, let me back up. When I come to you for the very first time about my true feelings, you know what I'm saying? It should get easier after that. I should feel more comfortable calling you, showing you this, you know, maybe not covering myself up when I get out the shop. I mean, it should be a whole bunch of comfort. So when you saying getting too comfortable, I feel like that's a good thing. I feel like you should be able to do all those flatulent things that y'all talk about that y'all do around each other. That's comfort. You know, I feel like I should be able to see your holy draws. You should see my holy socks. You know, whatever it is that I feel like I hid from you when we first got together, when we get too comfortable, that's the space that I want to be in. When we're that comfortable with each other that I know what you about to say, or when you come in the house, I already got your little show on, I already got everything picked out. Cause I already know you had a bad day just by the little texts that you were sending throughout the day. I'm already reading you. To me, that's how I look at getting comfortable.
Yeah, I mean that comfort that you're speaking of. Yes, I can
Mm-hmm.
agree with that
Mm-hmm.
because I want my relationship, whoever I'm with, I want to be comfortable in everything that I do around them. But the comfort I'm talking about, if you're like Fatine said, you cook it the same thing every day. You're doing the same. You get up, you get the kids ready for school if you have small ones. Then you go to work. You come home, you cook dinner, get the kids ready for bed, you go to bed. Same routine each and every day, but you never make time for that person that you're with. Y'all never say let's go out on a date together. You never say let's go to the park and have a picnic. Like it's the same routine daily. That's the comfort zone that I'm talking about. That gets boring and people lose interest in the relationship. And here's John over here in my ear, oh, well, let me buy you some flowers today, or, something like that. And
Hmm.
then it's like, okay, this is something new for me because it's like I'm doing the same exact thing every single day with my significant other.
Right. And I want to add, because I was going there, and I'm glad that you said it, so I didn't keep running my mouth. But I second what you said, and I'm gonna say this: those folks, again, that you let yourself go because you too comfortable or you so comfortable around the person that you let yourself go. Your appearance, how you let your appearance go, what you do, that's a no-no. That's a no-no. If you too comfortable around some person that, you like Victor said, you can be a comfortable person. Okay, I didn't take a shower today. that's cool. But I'm saying when you
No, it
start,
ain't.
I'm just,
I get what you're saying. Go
yeah.
ahead.
What I'm saying is you know you are average of 135 pounds, that the average, and then you let yourself go to you 220, and that's not who you are, but you just don't give a damn no more. Then that's not good. That's not good on your psyche, and it's not good on your partner's psyche as well.
So, bro, I'm gonna have to completely disagree with you on that one. I, I'm gonna just say I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. I like mundane. I like the same shit over and over again. I have no problem eating the same thing over and over and over and over again.
I bet.
I'm telling you, like I really because I'm gonna tell you something about the same thing. Once we get on the schedule, you're doing the same thing every day. When you venture outside of that, that's when suspicion gets raised. But if you always spontaneous, who am I dating? I don't know you. Like if you come home with a red wig on Monday and I know I'm shooting out there and a blonde wig on Friday talking about let's go out on the town, I'm looking at you like when are what is normal with you? I like normal. I like whatever normal is. It can be whatever, but I like normal. I like this. We can once we get here, whatever this is, let's not step outside of that. And that's how I like it. Let me just say that.
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, and I'm not talking about like every week. Or,
I get what you're saying.
like,
But see, if you're saying let's go out every week or every 3 weeks, that's normal. That is what we normally do. But if you're saying we going out once a week, eventually, the way some of y'all have put it, then that becomes boring.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I like stuff like that. If we have a date night every Friday at 8 o'clock, I understand I need to be this at 8 o'clock every Friday. And what we do is what we do. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean that
A
now,
schedule.
now that's different because that's something that we're both looking forward to. We're both looking forward to going out. I mean, it don't have to be the same restaurant or whatever, but we're that's a date night, a weekly date night. Yeah, like I would love that.
But the way I took it as y'all saying is eventually if you did that every week, every Friday, a date night for 10 years, the same time, it would get boring.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean that's what Veronica said, and I do agree with that.
That's not what she's saying.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm actually talking about like
She
date
said
night
over and over,
straight.
eating the same thing over and over, and I
That's not
see.
what-
But I'm
That's
talking
not what
about
I
like
said.
at the house. Like you all not doing anything outside the house.
But that's
In
to
the
me.
house.
But that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the way it seemed like y'all put it was that if we're doing the same thing over and over and over again, it gets boring. So if we go to Disney World the same time once a year, it will get boring after a while.
Oh, well, that's a once a year thing. But I'm saying, like, if we're having date night every Friday, as long as we're doing something different on a Friday, like we go
Yeah,
to
that's different.
But it's
eat
still the
Chinese one
same
Friday.
thing.
Next Friday, we're going out to the movies. The next Friday, we're doing bowling. You know, that, I would love that. But the same exact thing can get
Got it.
boring.
Let me read some of these comments because you did say you had an email letter, and I want to really try to jump in there. So, Tyrone Edge says complacency happens when you feel you need to grow, but you don't know which direction to go. Nicole Harris says some men can't tell or ignore when a woman sacrifices for them, and that's what makes some women feel it's one-sided. Shauna Sias comes back and says comfort, safety, and routines. That's what life is. Chrissy, our sister Chrissy, says, but I think Sissy is talking about too comfortable with you taking advantage of that person or no spontaneity. Tyrone comes back, a relationship, IMO. What does IMO mean again?
In my opinion.
In my opinion, is like, thank you. A relationship, in my opinion, is like a business, and similar to a business, it's the need to participate. When you feel like you can turn on autopilot, that things start happening. Ingrid says sadly that when your significant other takes you for granted, that's where complacency comes in. Darlene says I agree with Brother 15. Brother 15, you can be too comfortable. And Tyrone says, I think it's not about the things we do, but about the time we actually spend talking to each other.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
good. Yep,
Thank you for all
facts.
your
All right.
comments. I didn't get to everyone, but we try to get to as many as we can as we continue with our conversation. And you got this letter.
Cheryl
So
said,
not
"Ain't no
so
way."
not so for team can I'll tell you this, for team can only see the Facebook comments, but I can actually see the YouTube
Oh,
comment.
okay. Gotcha.
So I just didn't want Miss Mary. She says weak minds don't rule the world. Um, I'll. She said what? I would not like my mate to put me in the box. So those of you that's on Facebook can't see the YouTube comments and vice versa until we put them up. So I wanted everybody, and I know for team he couldn't see them, but thank you to the people on YouTube and the people on Facebook. Thank you very
Right.
much.
Thanks. And
Most
I'm going to
definitely.
YouTube right now as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Victor.
We appreciate y'all for watching on YouTube, and we would like for all of you to, support us on the YouTube end as well. Whenever you get a chance, just go over there and give us a thumbs up on
I don't know
YouTube.
who is this silence person because they
That's
is
my podcast partner in the morning.
listen. I when she said she want to see somebody on some regular stuff, that's go ahead and read your
Yeah,
letter.
wait.
Read your letter.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the
Because
letter.
that's
She said,
dope.
yeah, I want to see somebody on a regular shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If I don't know how she's saying it, but I the way I'm taking that,
Right.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm with you.
yeah.
Okay.
Me
Okay.
too. I want to see somebody on a regular.
She.
She brings
right.
she brings the spice. Trust me.
So here we go. We do have an email letter, and thank you to the young lady that wrote the letter because she sent it in not last week but the week before, but we didn't get into it last week, so we're definitely going to get into it. Hopefully she's watching. So it goes like this. We all have goals and dreams, and we plan for vacations and road trips from time to time. Well, last year in April, one of my dream vacations was put on hold due to my fiance best friend was admitted into the hospital for an emergency surgery. Even though we planned for this vacation for over a year, I still understood why he wanted to call it off until a later date. His friend, thank goodness, was okay and is doing so much better today. We planned again for this year to head to Hawaii at the end of March. We saved up for 2 years now, and I was really looking forward to spending a romantic week with my favorite guy. A few weeks ago, we were hit with another setback. This time, his cousin and his wife that were planning on taking this trip with us are not going because they are having some issues within their marriage. My fiance and I had a long conversation about this, and he said if they are not going, we are not going because this was planned as a couples trip. He said to me that if the trip means so much to me that I can find someone else to go with me and he will pay for everything. As I explained to him, this is a trip that we both plan together. Even though it is my dream trip, I still want to spend it with him. I'm highly disappointed because he didn't even think twice about it. He flat out told me that he will not be going. They are first cousins, but they call one another brothers. And now, because the cousin is having issues within his marriage and his wife has threatened to file for divorce, it's affecting our household as well, which is not fair. Why should I have to call off my trip again this year because of what they are dealing with? Do you think I'm being selfish? My husband had been very argumentative.
Is it husband or
And
fiance?
well, she's saying husband.
Okay, go ahead.
My husband has been very argumentative. Damn, you didn't make me miss that word.
Argumentative.
Thank you. You know I get tongue twisted. And lately, as you see, she did say husband a few times in here. And lately, every little thing ticks him off. This has caused many days and nights of us not speaking, and I'm getting drained. Sincerely, abandoned wife. And she says wife, but that is her
I mean,
fiance.
she started with fiance, but
Fiance.
I don't have to play on words. I understand.
So
Doesn't make a difference.
is she being selfish? I think not.
No.
Because just because my cousin or whoever else planned this trip with us isn't going, that don't mean that I have to stop. We don't have to stop living our lives because of what's going on between them. Yes, I'll feel bad for them. I will feel bad because I feel bad for anyone that's going through, a breakup within a marriage or a relationship. But that shouldn't stop them. She already put it on hold. They put it on hold last year for the cousin who was in the hospital. Now this year she's putting it on hold because of something's going on with another couple, which is not fair. Go ahead and go on a trip. Come back, spend time with your brother, cousin, whoever he is to you. But you shouldn't have to call off this trip just because of what's going on in someone else's household. That's just how I feel. And we're going to say her husband because she said husband,
Don't make a
but at the
difference to me.
first
Husband or
fiance.
fiance. Don't
Victor,
matter.
how you feel?
So I'm gonna look at this from a different eyes. I feel like, in a sense, if we go on this trip and my mind is somewhere else, then we're not going to enjoy this trip. Um, it seems like his emergencies is not a priority to her. If we're supposed to move together as one, then my emergency should be just as important to you as it is to me. And right now it don't seem that way because right now she really wants to go on this trip. And if you want to go, ma'am, if that trip means that important to you, then go. But you don't have to go to Hawaii or wherever they was going to go. You can bring Hawaii to you. If this man is dealing with a lot of mental issues and a lot of social issues that surround the people that he cares about, then is really spending 75 to $8,000 in another state that important than your fiance or husband's, well being. And I know people want to say they smell BS and all that, but everybody ain't cheating. There are some people out there that really care that their friends is going through something and want to be there. Because in a sense, I don't like spending $8,000 in a week and then just to come home with some pictures and some flair or something like that. I'd rather tend to my homeboy and keep my 8 grand in the bank and go do something else. But that's just my opinion.
You want to go next, Destiny, or you want me to go?
I mean, I can go. I don't feel like she's being selfish. She already put it off once a year ago, and now she's being expected to put it off again. I understand where Victor's coming from, but at some point, she needs to feel like she's a priority as well. I understand his homeboy had his emergency surgery, and what is he going to do for his cousin slash brother in his broken relationship? It's nothing he really can do to help fix that. That's something him and that woman have to fix. So why ruin something that we've already planned previously, that we've already put off before? Why put that off again? I feel like both they need to have a conversation, but I feel he needs to take her feelings into consideration.
The team.
I'm glad I let Destiny go because I'm about to lay into some. I'm trying not to use profanity because I try to be cool. The first situation, yes, and she did the right thing. If she would have bitched and moaned, I'd have jumped all over her. Emergency surgery, you never know where it's gonna go. You away on a trip and you get a call that that person died. You can't stay. You can't say that you didn't get a chance to spend the time with them. Damn freaking boy, I'm mad. Hell with sorry, Victor, I disagree. Hell with somebody else's damn relationship because they got issues. We planned this. I was with you and I moved like I supposed to. Fiance, wife doesn't make a difference. I moved with you as one. We planned again. Now they're having issues. What the? Where does she stand in his life? Where does she stand in his life? So what? You stay home. What are you gonna do? You in their marriage? They got issues. You home this whole year. You ain't help them solve their issue. So why can't you go away with your wife that she's been looking for this 2 years, but stood with you as a unit the way she's supposed to stand with you? That's a bunch of bullshit. He's a selfish son of a bitch.
Hold-
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna say it again. He's a selfish son of a bitch. And sister, if you don't see that on the right, the wall on the writing on the wall, then a lot to be desired.
So I mean, you calling him selfish, but you know,
Yeah, I am.
in a,
But he's not putting her never a priority. Never.
so you calling him selfish, but I'm gonna have to point it back at you, bro. And the reason I say that is because, you know, about an hour ago, um, if I'm in a relationship and I've said this, you know, if I'm giving you my full attention and you my everything and we in a relationship and then all that come crashing down, who can I come to? And if you my homeboy and I'm asking you, I'm like, bro, everything around me is crashing. Everything around me is coming down. And I want you to be around me when I'm going through the lowest part of my life.
Man.
And if you tell me I'm going away to Hawaii, all I'm thinking is, well, damn, bro, you can go to Hawaii next week. That's how I'm looking at that situation because I've been there where I didn't have nobody to run to. And when I went to somebody, they had other plans. So that's why I'm saying you calling him selfish. But in a sense, I look at him as being a good friend because people want to say BS and that men don't run the men. But that's why a lot of men don't run the men because we get pressured by females to do other shit because they don't understand the relationship between two men.
So when you said that, I listened to everything you said, and I'm gonna throw it right back at you because you said it earlier, and I'm gonna do the example. You said when I'm with her, there's certain things I'm gonna do with her, and then this is what I'm gonna do with my friends. And we talked about what is
The
considered
foundation.
priority, and everybody. So I gotta know what lane is. So even though I'm a friend, this is my fiance slash wife. You understand? At the end of the day, is is fiance and slash wife, and excuse that damn jacket for flying because our damn engineer producer didn't. He just threw the jacket over to our host. But anyway, so getting back from that damn distraction, you said that, Victor, priority. So I could see if my boy lost his child or if my boy lost a loved one. They're having issues in a relationship that they said they were having issues. He's is a goddamn grown man. People have issues. They had this plan, and if I was the person going through this, I wouldn't expect you and Victor, you and Veronica, a couple. I wouldn't expect you, my boy, to not go on your trip because me and my lady is having issues. I want you to go on your trip, even though I'm having issues, and you being sympathetic or empathetic because you said you've been there. It's different. It's losing someone or somebody on their deathbed. But to me, she is not. And then remember, in the letter, she says, again, she's giving her point of view. They've been bickering. They've been this and that. It seems like this relationship is one-sided from the way I'm hearing it. Again, we only get on one side of the story, but the way I'm getting it, and that's why I'm going to stick where I'm at, and that's why I kick it back to you, because you said earlier there's priorities. When I'm kicking it to my woman and I'm building up this, and when I establish this is my priority. You, my friends, and there's certain things that happens to friends that become a priority, like the surgery. But because they have an issue, that ain't a priority for me to stay home. Hell no.
And did she not say in the letter that the relationship issues that his cousins having is causing relationship issues with her and the husband? So yeah, it sounds like that man just don't want the relationship. Honestly, he's trying to find a way to get out.
Well,
So I mean, I'll tell you this. You know, I have very very close relationships with people in my family that I probably ain't talked to in 3, 4, 5 years. That I know that if I call them at any time and tell them, hey man, I just need, this is what's going on. I know that they're going to stop what they're doing and tend to me because that is something that I normally don't do. If my homeboy asks me the way I feel about anybody who knows me and how my life is set up, if you ask me to do anything outside of my norm and you know me, I'm going to do it because you already know this is something that I normally don't do. So all I'm saying is I know what I would do, and you're taking a stance on what you would do, and that's great. I just feel like when somebody makes a decision, and we've been planning on something, we've been planning on something for a whole year. If I make a draft decision to change it, then it's got to be something important in my life or something that I think that's more important than this trip. So if you're saying this trip is more important than my friendship with this guy over here, and I'm saying he's more important than this trip, in a sense, we at a stalemate. Do we flip a coin or do we just break up?
I don't know if we sit there and say what's more important. I
Oh
think
no,
you
we
got,
did.
I
That's
think,
exactly what it is.
but I think you got to take you got to take everything in consideration. She did the right thing because I keep saying it. She did the right thing when the first time it came up. Now the second time it came up, this doesn't the surgery and a break or issues in a relationship don't weigh the same to no
To you.
well, like
To you.
no, I don't well
To you.
to me and a lot of other people. I'm reading the comments, bro. I'm reading the comments,
Okay,
and I don't see
that's-
many people in the comments saying that he's doing the right thing. I don't see that. So what I'm saying is there comes a time that there got to be, when is there a priority for her? He should be looking out, well, babe, you know what? We canceled it. We canceled it last time because of my family member, and I thank you for that. We rolled as a unit, and it was expected for you. They got issues, and now he's not even listening to her. And then if your friend is selfish, that even though you having issues, why would you even want your friend not to go on the trip? That don't make sense. We had a trip planned, and the other couple couldn't go. That wasn't even a discussion for me and Hanifa. We went. We went. It wasn't a discussion
So
because they had issues that they didn't want us to stay behind because that's their personal issues.
Yeah.
Why am I in their family like that?
Yeah.
so in a sense, then they should break up.
Why should they break up?
I mean, if he just said that,
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
yeah, they should break up. I mean, it's just that simple. If you feel like you're not a priority, like
Right.
everybody's saying, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, this is a prime example of being someplace where you're not wanted or appreciated or respected. There's nothing wrong with telling somebody you should leave. If you feel like this man is not taking you seriously, damn fighting for him. I'm not listening. I'm done fighting. Once we get to a point that I feel like my time, my presence is being taken is not being taken seriously, I'll leave. And anybody will tell you that shit. So I'm not gonna sit here and go back, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically say, hey man, I know we had this plan, but my homeboy going through some shit. You can come with me. Oh, F him. I'm done.
Got it. So let me just throw it to the women, and I'll start with you, Destiny, and then Veronica. You talk about working through this. How, again, the letter's there. How would you handle this?
He told me to go on a trip by myself. I would probably go by myself, honestly.
And you wouldn't feel a certain way?
I would feel some type of way, but I'm gonna go on that trip and I'm gonna enjoy myself. I've already put it off one time before. Why put it off again? Because another couple is having issues, and maybe this time apart from you will give me clarity on if this relationship is what I really need or if I need to move on from it.
Go ahead, Veronica.
I feel like most of the ones that's watching in the comments and you all as well. I don't feel like we should have to put our life on hold for something that's going on in someone else's household. There's one thing that we called it off last year. That's understandable. Your friend, was it, or cousin, was in the hospital
Cousin.
getting ready to have surgery.
Emergency
Surgery. I get that.
Mhm.
As bad as I wanted to go on that trip, family is first. And this guy was getting ready to have emergency surgery. So I get that. You wanted to be there. I respect that. This time, you're talking about someone that are having problems inside their home, a marriage. They're having, problems inside their marriage. And I don't take light of that. I mean, that is something that, like I said earlier, I wouldn't want anyone to go through. But at the same time, we already put the trip off one time. This was a dream trip of mine. So what, like you, I think you said, what can I do? What can you do besides have a conversation and be there for your friend, and just be there to consult him, or
Mhm.
what else can you do that's gonna that's causing you to not want to go on this trip at all?
Cause you have a phone.
With your significant
With your
other.
significant other. Like, I don't understand, and I get what Victor is saying about being there for your friend. We all want to be there for our friends when they're going through something. Like when I was going through something, and my friend Michelle was right there. As soon as I called her, she came over to the house and was with me. But at the same time, if she was going on a trip with her husband, I wouldn't dare ask her to not go on her trip because of something that I'm going through. No, that's being selfish. If his friend asked him not to go on this trip, which I'm not saying that he did, but if the friend did ask him to not go on the trip because he's going through something at home with his wife, that friend is selfish.
Son of a bitch. You said what I said.
But yeah,
I get being there for friends. I totally get that.
So
someone
when
may-
you was going through your, let's say when you was going through your thing, and
Mm-hmm.
your friend Michelle came, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and her husband said, "Stay out of that," and she didn't come over, and she stayed out of that. How would you feel?
I would.
We not so let's take the trip out of. Her husband said, "Stay out of that,"
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't come over. I mean, it's hard to speak on it now because it's already happened. But see if you can try to conjure up those emotions if Michelle said, "I can't come over because my husband told me not to."
First of all, hopefully,
No. Because this has got everything along the lines of this trip right now. So if her husband told her, "Do not come over, stay out of that," because that has nothing to do with you or us, how would you take that?
I would take that some type of way, because for one, it's not like she's getting in anything between me and who I was dealing with. She's not getting in the middle of. She's there to comfort me.
Yes.
She's not telling me, oh, and I don't have friends like that that's going to say you need to leave him alone, or you shouldn't be with him, or blah blah. No, my friends are there to listen
Mm-hmm.
and to give their advice, opinion, or whatever. But it's never them telling me you shouldn't be with this person. It's there like, Ronnie, it's gonna be okay. I'm there. I'm here for you if you need me. They have that listening ear, and that's what Michelle was there for. And her husband would never tell her anything
Well,
like
that's see, I'm not taking it there. What I'm saying is, and I'm glad you have friends like you that. What I'm saying is, if from what y'all saying, if her husband would have said, Michelle, and I'm using it because you brought her name up, she said, Veronica, I can't come over there because my husband said they ain't none of our business. Exactly.
that. But
That's exactly what
totally
y'all
different.
saying.
No, I can I can respect that.
Mhm.
But that's not a whole trip we talk. We talk about a trip, not going on a trip. I can see her not coming over to the house because we can still talk on the phone.
So you, like I said, we throw the trip out. If married couples say, if Michelle's husband would have said, "Stay out of that," you would have felt some type of way.
I said that.
I know, but I was going to further expand on that. Why I've been your friend X amount of time, it could turn into something. And I understand that we want to throw the whole trip aspect because that's what's in the letter. But when you have access to a friend and your significant other is telling you that you shouldn't be there for a friend, then it puts you in a situation that you really don't want to be in.
I don't think that she is telling her husband or fiance,
Yeah.
whoever. I don't think she's telling him, don't be there for your friend, cousin.
It's cousin/brother.
Yeah, I don't think she's saying don't be there for him. It's just, can we have a moment? This trip was planned 2 years ago. We already called it off last year.
Yep.
Now we have to call it off again. Can we go on this trip? And then you can have all the time you want with your cousin.
Exactly. Let me just get this.
Well, I'll just say that tragedy doesn't have a due date. When tragedy happens, tragedy happens. I have a cousin/sister that if she was to call me in this podcast or text me this podcast, say pull up, I'm out. And I understand, like, for her to ask me something, Vic, I need you right now. I know she needs me right now. So go ahead, Fatima. I apologize.
And I get what you're saying, but what can he do besides talk to him?
But see, and that's all right.
And
So
if it's been going on for weeks,
yeah,
he's been talking
Y'all,
to him
y'all are both
already.
back and forth on this. So let's get a couple of comments in real quick, since y'all basically saying
no,
y'all
we're not.
You
No.
know,
No, we're not.
I mean, no. What I'm saying is that y'all are saying y'all are sticking with your point, so y'all are just playing ping pong right now.
Well, no, it's not really playing ping pong. We're just basically. I get where you're coming from, but a lot of times, I had a homeboy one time when I was going through some shit. He came by to the crib, and I was sitting on the couch, and he came in and he just sat there, and I think we might have said 10 words to each other. We sat there for maybe 30, 45 minutes, and he got up and left, and that's exactly what I needed at that time. It's not about what can you say to make it. It's not about that. It's about somebody physically there just in case I do want to say something that I just didn't lose just the reality of what the hell just happened.
So how long do he want him to stay there?
Yeah, and why is a friend a more priority than your fiance? And I just don't see this, but we're not going to win this battle here.
I know you want to get in the comments so bad, but just wait.
They're going on a trip the end of this
But
month.
we keep saying it. What I mean.
No, I didn't say this part yet.
Yeah, go ahead.
So they're going on a trip the end of this month. So how long does it take for me to sit around my friend? And I get it. You can't put a
you're
time
right.
on it.
You're right.
So why can't he go ahead and say, yeah, we can go on a trip at the end of the month. I got all this time right here that I'm going to spend and comfort him until it's time for us to leave.
Listen, you're right. In the way that way, you're right.
But I said the same thing about 10 minutes ago. I said the same damn thing 10 minutes ago. I said the same effing thing the same 10 minutes ago. And now you're going to come back around and say that. Well, you didn't hear it because you ain't listening. I said the same effing thing.
Oh, Lord.
Ooh, I swear to God. Let me just hear. John says basically this trip, something the lady planned. Hubby just told her, yes, they can go to shut her up. Nah, that's it time. He ain't want to go because he never wanted to go, and honestly it's deeper than this trip. Lady, this man might be tired of you for whatever reason. Go enjoy Hawaii with someone else. Nicole Harris says we females stay in unwanted relationships too long thinking a man would change, knowing that we can't change a man. And the last comment I'll read now is Darlene Bryant says exactly what kind of friend would want you to cancel your trip because he's having relationship issues.
Well, if you're gonna read them, why stop at just the three that
that
goes along with your point?
No, bro. I was up here. Y'all kept talking, and then more people wrote. When I was at the bottom.
So you mean I got a word in tonight? Oh,
come on. Let's hear. Let's be real. I wanted to read a few minutes ago. I let y'all go volley back and forth. Y'all were playing tennis, and it was a good volley.
Hey, shouts out to Tyrone. Tyrone says, bruh, I'll be back. Let me go attend to my lady because this is something she's been waiting on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let me tell you something about vacation. And this is my take on vacation. And it may be funny, but it is what it is. We go on vacation to do the same 2 to 3 positions for the same 7 minutes that we going to do anyway. I mean, we may do it on the balcony. We may do it in the kitchen, but it's the same whatever I'm bringing the entire time. So what are we really doing besides looking at some stuff and spending money if when it comes down to me being there for my friend, I can have sex with you at the house. But what romance are we going to have in Hawaii that we can't have at the house?
That's a whole different atmosphere.
Yes.
That's a whole
That's a whole new vibe.
Yes.
It sets a whole different mood.
Y'all been to Hawaii?
Yes, I have. Waikiki.
Oh God.
Yes.
Did you get some Waikiki
Oh God. No.
penis? Okay.
What's wrong, Fatine? What's going on over there?
Victor said
What?
What kind of nonsense is that? So
bring
what's
out
the
different
purpose of planning a
seasons.
damn trip? What's the purpose to say, well, I could just stay home because ain't nothing changed? The point is that you do this because it's a goal, it's a something that you do, and it's a pleasure setting kind of situation. And there are things that do come up, Victor, which I do agree. Your cousin call you up, you gonna be there. I got you. But if your cousin calls you up and say, and y'all getting ready to leave in the morning to go to Hawaii, and they call you up and you get over there and they say, listen, man, I had an argument with so and so and blah blah blah. You gonna try to handle that, but you ain't gonna blow your trip because they
You
try. You
you you
understand what I'm
speaking
saying?
for me? You can't say I will,
Well,
but
okay.
but
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
but logically, what you're saying is correct.
There you go.
Logically, what you're saying is correct. So, um, I'll say this: when it comes to vacations, vacation means different to everybody. Everybody doesn't look at vacations the same. I look at vacation as a damn bill, unless there is absolutely something that we're going to do. Going to Hawaii to go look at, I don't know what we're going to look at. I can ride four wheelers and ride horses any damn way on the beach. That really doesn't mean that much to me. But put like I told y'all, what, last week before last, a priority of mine is putting a smile on my woman's face. If that's what she wants to do, I'ma do it. But how high the list of that? Me going to Hawaii just to put a smile on your face? Does $9,000 really need to put a smile on your face? That's not a goal of mine to go to Hawaii. But I would have to literally, not say strategize, prioritize things like that. But I think some people always want to go places just to say they went somewhere. But in a sense, we can do it at the crib and
Yeah,
save
but
money.
but don't you want to live a little and
I lived a lot.
I mean, well, you was in service, so you seen a lot of the world.
I
But
have.
some people have not had that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So when that female get with you and she wants to explore, she wants to see other things outside of Florence and Darlington. Why not?
Businessville.
So why not do that and let her see the beautiful blue waters and
So in my mind, I'm be 100% honest with you. In my mind, I feel like I'm gonna be the one paying for it. That's exactly that's just in my mind. I'm saying, oh, I want to see this. I want to see this. Okay, why you ain't
so
saw
if you can afford it and that's your
But I
woman
don't.
that you want to see, you want to put a smile on her face, right?
Mhm.
So if she asks you, can we go, can we fly, blah blah blah, even though you know you're going to pay for it, and she might help, but you saying that you know you're going to pay for it,
I don't want to
why
go
not?
then. That is the reason why I don't go on vacation.
Mm.
That is the main reason why when I do go on vacation, you see me by my damn self because y'all need to understand what it takes to even go on vacation. I don't think all y'all. Some people, all they do is plan, but they don't look at what it took for me to get this $10,000. What I had to do, all the mornings that I woke up early, all the doggone late nights that it took for me to do that, all the scrape knuckles, all the side work, everything I had to do just to get this $10,000 and you to give me the same ass that I was gonna get at the house. To me, it's not it don't weigh the same.
And you might be right. Like I didn't pay not one dime when I went to Hawaii. But the thing is, the person who I went with wanted to see me happy. So that was a trip that we took. And I feel like if you want to do things, why are we so tight? And I get
We
I get
say
budget,
y'all. Why y'all so tight?
I get budgeting and saving money. You can't take that money with you.
But
So
I can
why
leave it to
not
somebody.
once out of a lifetime take a trip that you want to go on, or your significant other want to go on, and just enjoy life? I think we do too. We don't take time to breathe and enjoy life. It's always work, 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 work,
Yeah.
work, work, work. I'm saving money.
You
Work,
saying
work,
we or y'all?
work.
You pointing at the like you just
I'm saying whoever, male, female,
Let me,
whoever.
yeah, let me just
Like
jump in.
live
Yeah,
life.
yeah, let me just say this because I ain't pleading with nobody. So I sat back because when Victor speaks, I told Victor this a while ago. I sit back and I think and I listen to what he has to say. And I told Victor this, and I'll say this. He reminds me of my father-in-law, and he was his own man, and a lot of those extra frills he didn't do, and his wife asked for certain things, and if he choose not to do it, he wasn't doing it. But then, as latter when the boys were going on the cruise, and they were bringing their wives, but she brought this up 3 years ago. He said no. But so all of a sudden his boys say, from the job, we going on the cruise, we're bringing our wives. Now all of a sudden he changed his mindset. So how does that look to his wife? How does that make her feel? She goes, of course, because she gets a chance to go. But how does it make her feel? So it go back to respecting what Victor says. And I go back to relationships. Know who you're getting in a relationship with. Understand what their goals and things are. If they don't match, because I heard this on another podcast, it's very hard to change a person. Know what you're getting into. Because I'm not going to sit up here and try to change Victor. Victor has I have my opinion, but I'm not going to change him. And if people move like that and we get in these relationships and I'm not saying you just walk out the door, but if people are not going to bend, and it seems to be so tilted that it's 80-20, that 80% goes that person way, while 20 would go that way, that ain't a relationship, and it may be time to move. If you can move. A lot of people just can't walk out of a relationship, so it's easy for us to say that, but I'm telling you, if things are not changing, why stay miserable in something that you're not happy in?
that's dope. That's great. I think to answer your question, she probably felt like she was never a priority if he went on the trip, because if that's what that's what it seems like, then that's exactly what it is. You're right. She probably did not feel like a priority and wanting to know why they didn't go, and they can get you to move and I can't. Not supposed to be your wife. But Veronica, you ain't gonna duck what you just said though, because my whole stomach turned when you
He lasting on your
when you
ass.
said that. Y'all really, when I say y'all, when you saying you should do things to women should start paying their way more, and you don't.
Some.
Y'all don't. And the reason I say that is, and when I say some, you're right, some. There are things that I want to do that a woman might feel corny. You know what I'm saying? But I can afford to do that. I'm in my 40s. If I meet a woman in her whatever she is, if you ain't already done what you wanted to do in life, don't try to get me to finance some shit just so you can experience the Eiffel Tower. If you single now, go ahead and go to the Eiffel Tower, because Vic ain't going. Well, let me back up. Vic don't want to go real bad, but the right woman will have my ass on
Thank
the Eiffel
you.
Tower. I mean, I've
I've
said that.
Him to say that.
But I've said that. Like, my stance now, like I said, I'm in a comfort zone right now. I don't really want to do things like that. But I will step outside of my comfort zone. Like, my dream trip is to go to South Africa. I don't want to see the people, but I want to watch the killer whales. That's what I like shit like that. I really want to go see a killer whale and all that shit like that.
What you can go down to Florida.
don't-
Since you said you could stay home instead of go to Hawaii, you can go right down to Universal.
Save
But-
so much money.
Universal and
I've-
see a killer whale.
But I've already been there, and it wasn't the experience
Oh, okay.
that I wanted.
So this
I wanna
woman has
see-
been in that bedroom, so it's not the experience she wanted. So she wants to go to
Exactly.
Hawaii.
But what I'm saying is, I can afford to go to South Africa myself and watch it. But I can also afford to take somebody with me. If you want to go to the Eiffel Tower, why can't she take me with her? I shouldn't have to finance that if that's what she wants to do. Don't roll your eyes.
If she's capable, again,
No, she should.
Yeah, I don't see a problem.
So that's the thing. People get in relationships and want to use the other one as a crutch in order to further get themselves to where they need to be at because they financially handicapped. And I'm not saying I'm the most stable person because I'm not. But if I meet a woman, she said, my dream trip is to go to the Eiffel Tower, I'm out because you should be going now.
But how about if you're in a 10-year relationship and she come out finally and say, you know what, babe, I've been with.
That's different.
Okay, so you're fine with that if you're in a. I'm not. See, when I'm talking about taking. No, when I'm talking about taking trips, I'm actually talking about somebody that you've been dealing with for a while. I'm not talking about someone that's just meeting and you coming to someone and say, hey, I really want to go to Hawaii. Now, you should be paying something.
But all right, so what you're saying, so I had to put myself in that situation because those parameters wasn't given. So I'm thinking like now, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody was to say that like in the next 2 to 3 years, I ain't going. But in a 10-year relationship, yeah, we going.
And that's interesting what you said, Veronica and Victor, because I'm thinking sitting back here, if I have the money right now, like the 2 years ago I was in Jamaica and last year I was in Cancun. I paid for myself. I'm by myself. But if I wanted to go at this time and I have the money to take someone, I want to go, I'm going to pay.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay. If they call me and say, oh, I want to go to Barbados. Well,
go.
We can meet, but I'm not going to, because it's your idea that I'm just going to come out my pocket and do that. Even if I have it.
Yeah.
You understand? Because there got to be some kind of consideration there. I'll give you another example where I don't want to take advantage. I had somebody who for my birthday, wanted to come down to the beach or wherever you want to go for teen. And I didn't do it. It's not that I didn't want to spend time with the person. I felt that I didn't want them to do that. I just didn't feel like they had to spend the money, and I was just, a little tight around that time. I just didn't want to do that, and I appreciated the thought. But there's certain things that I have. What do you call that? I don't want to say integrity. It could be integrity or whatever. But I do understand what Victor's saying from the perspective of people having these thoughts and wishes to do, and then they put it on the table. But let's go back to a couple. That's what I'm saying. How you decide to move. Hanifa didn't work. So we didn't take no big trips because we didn't have the money to really expand that. But if we did, I still made sure that she got away. I try to do it twice a year. Even she said, I'm just good to see my sister when our sister was alive. I'm just good to spend Thanksgiving. I'm just good to be away out of the house. She was that kind of person. You understand? Because she appreciated life, because there's times when she missed so many holidays because of being in the hospital. So I tried everything in my possibility to do that because she sacrificed so much. So I wanted to, like you said, put a smile on her face, but give her something that she wanted, because we was doing this as a unit. Because when I needed something and she could give it to me, she did. And that's why it's give and take, especially when you got a person in your relationship that is not selfish.
So, and we got to get out of here because it's after 10. But why is it so that you have to, if someone asks you and say that they want to go somewhere, why is it that they have to pay for it just because they want to go?
Are you serious?
You
want to tackle this?
No. I'm not talking about if you just meeting someone. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, but if you're in a long distance, not a long distance, a long-term relationship, and she come to you and say, hey, let's go to blah blah blah. Just because she said let's go, now it's up for her to pay for it.
Yes.
Even if y'all been together for a while.
Yes.
Oh.
You should have seen Victor's face. What the hell? I thought you was swimming. You saw Victor.
Let me shake my dreads. I can't believe you just said that.
No, I mean, I'm
Veronica, are you serious?
Yeah, and I guess because I've never been in a relationship like that. Like if I say I want to go somewhere, like they always.
You know who you sound like?
I was very spoiled.
You sound like Donald Trump. I'm gonna build a wall and make Mexico pay for it. That's exactly like so can I suggest something and can I suggest something and
Sure.
you pay for it?
Yeah, if it's your birthday.
See what I mean? That's that bullshit. We're going to
That's what
find
I'm
out.
saying.
I'm glad. I am glad you just said that. That further proves my point.
I mean,
I'm glad I like
it
getaways. I
depends.
really like to go.
Yeah,
I like
like
getaways. I usually travel
It's
by
my
myself,
birthday.
and see, this
I
is
was
interesting.
playing.
The reason
No,
why,
you wasn't.
yeah,
No, you was not playing.
yeah, because I like to travel by myself because I like to do what I want to do now when I want to do it. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't have to say, I don't feel like going, oh, why you don't want to go? I don't have to deal with that. But if I choose to bring somebody, I know that, but I usually travel with my female cousins. So, and if I'm bringing a female, I always want to make sure that they get along with one another because you can hang with my cousins, and I'm gonna make time. I'm not gonna throw you off like that. But
Mhm.
I'm just saying that if they want to do this party and I don't want to do that party, you more than welcome because that's how I roll now.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
And Goddess says, and she made a great point. She said even if he don't make her pay for it, she should be able to, and that's the truth. Like I feel like anyone, if you're trying to go somewhere, you should be able to afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I don't want to pay for it, but I should be able to afford it. If I'm asking to go, yeah, I should be able to afford it, but I don't want to pay for it.
wait a minute. We got to say, I got to say one thing. I got to say one thing real quick. You used the word spoil. You said that. And Chrissy, I'm coming. You said, Chrissy, oh wait, damn, John.
It's
Chrissy
right there.
said, I'm inclined to agree with Sissy. I'm always been spoiled. They paid either all or majority. Let me just tell y'all, spoiled women.
Y'all gonna be by yourself
Damn right.
forever.
Y'all get
Forever.
if y'all may find men that spoil y'all, that's fine.
Don't put that
But
back on me.
what I'm saying is the spoiled women that have that attitude.
No.
When I
Go
say
ahead.
the spoiled women that have that attitude,
Okay.
like they're privileged, y'all gonna be by your damn self. Or you understand? Or you gonna get some passive dude that gonna give you everything that you want.
Well, guess
You
what?
understand what I'm saying?
Glad
But
I'm glad I'm
that spoilness, nothing wrong with
That's a
being
turn off, bro.
yeah, it's nothing wrong with being spoiled in a more empathetic, sympathetic kind of conscious way, but to be spoiled like we owe you something,
That's
we
some
don't owe
bullshit.
you a damn
That's some
thing.
bullshit.
We don't owe y'all a damn thing.
Now that's facts, and I'm not saying I'm that kind of spoiled.
Right? Exactly.
I'm saying they
Got you.
spoiled me. I
Got
can
you.
take care of
Got
Veronica,
you.
so I'm not saying that I'm
But
spoiled
the
and I'm
spoiledness
looking
that
for.
come with that attitude, like we owe you
Yeah,
something.
now that I'm not agreeing with.
There you
That I'm not agreeing with because I don't want no one to feel like they have to take care of me. No, sir. But what I'm saying is the relationships that I've been in, they did spoil me. And like if I did, say, oh, I want to do this, blah blah blah. Next thing I know, we're preparing and we're doing that.
Right.
But I'm not saying that I'm spoiling the way. If you don't do this for me, then we're gonna have some issues.
Yeah,
No, I'm not talking about that.
Yeah,
So
your
I'll
cut-
tell you this, that's to a man, that's a trigger word.
What?
I've been spoiled, or spoil me, or do this or do that, spoil this and that. But we'll look at a child and say, don't spoil that child, or this child is spoiled. We look at it and we look at a child and we saying that's negative. But then to a grown woman, that's the goal. Girl, I got a man who will spoil me.
Not to
That's
all of us. That's not a goal.
to to the majority. A woman wants to be spoiled. To the majority, they do. And as a man, the majority of men probably would like to spoil their woman in some form or fashion.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's
what?
I'm
That,
saying. Like some men enjoy.
Now I ain't talking about with money. I ain't talking about with
And
money.
it doesn't have to be money. I'm talking about just spoiling in general.
right.
You
Right.
run my bath water or do it like.
Oh
some
shit,
people-
no, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
I'm
I,
saying
well, I
some
well,
men do that
well,
though.
well. So
Some
your
men
cousin
do that.
Karan says spoil, not bratty and needy.
Yes.
Chrissy comes back because I want to be fair. She just said my experience. So that's why I said, Sister Chrissy, because I don't want you to think I'm just coming at you. I'm saying to spoil with that attitude that we owe you something. You can't help what your experiences are because if you ask, do I spoil a woman? Yes, I will spoil her from the perspective of running the bath water, being considerate, that type of spoiling, not to the point that she is bratty and needy like Karan just said. No, that is a turnoff, like Victor said. That is a turnoff. That's a trigger word, and that's the quickest way to find us outside the door or our attention somewhere else.
Definitely. I can agree with that.
So I don't want to tiptoe around it.
Go ahead, bro.
I don't want to
Please
tiptoe
don't.
around it. You spoiled ass women are the reason why some other women are not in relationships. Because you see this, but you don't know what that woman had to do to get all that. She might have to take it up her tail with something that long in order to get whatever it is that she.
In the witching hour, yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, this whole spoiled thing is women brag about it, but is that really a goal?
Who's bragging?
I'm not saying you.
Oh, okay, go
I'm
ahead.
just saying, I said women.
Women in general.
Yeah, women in general, they brag about this whole being spoiled thing, but people look at them and we don't matter because we're not in your relationship and we're just minions in your world. But to the outside world, it's like,
But
I don't want that anyway.
what happens is society, and it just goes back. We couldn't get in, and we're not getting into this conversation because of our time. But when me and you was talking about the post that I put up there with Michael Bazin, and we was talking about monogamous and how we put that question about that to just men, about being polygamous. We don't put that to women. And what the point I'm saying about spoil is women tend to be spoiled because a lot of men are going to spoil women for whatever the reason is. So I go back to Sister Chrissy, to all the women out there, the sisters here. You got more men that will spoil than we men have women to spoil us. It's a mindset, number one. It could be a financial situation on another situation. But a lot of women can be spoiled because y'all have more doors open or opportunities to be, because men are always jockeying to get you. Now, how they keep spoiling you until they get you? I don't know. But you have more opportunities to be spoiled, and that's how this society is, because we're, as men, are trying to get with women that are heterosexual. I had to put that in there.
So
Final thoughts.
Tyrone says,
where we at?
yeah, we're going to final thoughts. Tyrone says consideration isn't spoiling, that's being loving. Yes, I can agree with that, Tyrone.
Yeah, you used a whole different word, Tyrone.
Thank you.
You
Thank you.
I'm listening,
Thank
bro.
you.
Use a whole damn
Thank
different
you.
word. So don't come in here with that. Yeah, consideration. You're right.
Philosophize.
Yeah, you're right. Consideration. We talking about the word spoil. Well,
That ain't the same.
ain't the same, bro. Don't try.
So Quran taking shots. Quran know I love her to death. Quran, you right. I ain't gonna say I'm spoiled, and I could be, maybe. But I know what I like, and I know what I want, and me want this, and me want that. But the thing about it is a lot of tangible items I can get myself.
So can we.
It don't sound like it, but that's not the point I was making. But it's the intangible things that I don't have is what I want. And I can't spoil myself with things like that. So when I say I like attention from my partner, I want my partner to be this, that is in a sense me setting myself up for what I want. What's wrong with that? Is that spoiling? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
So why we can't have that same
Because we were talking about, like I told Karan, we were talking about finances. I was talking about love and affection.
that's what I was talking about.
No, y'all wasn't. You just said you would. You're right. You're right.
Wait, Nicole says what? Women put more into a relationship than men. Men are more spoiled nowadays. Women put more into a relationship than
she's right.
Yes.
men
She
are
is right.
more spoiled now.
Yes.
She is in a sense she's right. Because you know why? She's right. Because all the good men are taken.
So the reason why
So they're getting spoiled by
so-
multiple females.
so the reason why I'm saying that I'm not. She's right and wrong. Meaning that
Right.
it fits some.
Yes.
I think if you look back in the day, more men were spoiled because more women tend to spoil their men. Today we got more women that are leading households that have their own,
Yep.
that don't need to spoil a man, because at the end of the day they spoil the man because they needed that man. A lot of women today don't spoil men because they all say you don't need
You
men.
know what? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The, I'm glad you said that. And the reason I'm glad you said that is because you look at our grandparents. People will say granddaddy was spoiled, but in a sense, grandma was too. So they spoiled each other. Grandma didn't have to work. Some people's grandmothers didn't have to work. But in a sense, she did everything for that man and he made sure everything was taken care of. All right? Women want to pick and choose. We talked, me and you talked about this. Women want to pick and choose on they want to be independent, but they don't want to pay for shit, but they want you to come through the house, drop off the good deed, but want you to leave, but then don't want you to do. It's like you got to pick a lane.
Yeah, that's why I said what she said. Nowadays, it's not the same. But I think more
It's
men were
not.
spoiled in the past
Right.
than now.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to keep baiting you in, but go ahead.
Yeah, I see that. Tyrone, I'm going to get to this and then we're going to go. Spoiling, Tyrone says spoiling is just throwing stuff at people just because you can or they expect it. All right,
That's
so-
two different sides, but go ahead, Tyrone. He doing too much with that when he said, Tyrone, you know I love you to death. When he said doing what they expected or throwing them at things, that's two different things.
But he's covering both sides of the road.
Exactly.
He's covering both sides of the
Exactly.
road. That's what he's
Tyrone.
doing.
Like you
Playing,
do.
he's playing both sides of the damn fence.
Yeah.
You think I don't see that?
Like
Yo,
you
I
do.
told you I'm on.
You do the same thing, Fatine. You do the same
But
thing.
team,
so
you
we
got to
gotta wrap
shout
it up.
out. You got to shout out right there.
Where? Okay.
Brooklyn Nets, whoever that is.
Okay.
Oh, Carol, Cheryl said men in the past paid for everything.
Where you at? I don't see
The
that.
bottom. The last comment.
But I thought we weren't going to be in the past no more.
not.
Look at you.
Here we go.
Final.
Final thoughts. Y'all got any final thoughts? for the
Destiny,
last-
you've been quiet, but
I
she
think
said
it's
be
her
struggling a little bit
cancer,
today. Come on, girl. Come on.
Well,
sis.
I already said I feel like young lady, go on the trip by yourself.
What did you say?
Go on the trip by yourself. Enjoy your trip. Don't let this spoil it. And weigh out your pros and cons while you're gone, and come back home and make a decision from there. I'm not saying leave that man alone, but y'all need to have a conversation about his priorities and how he prioritizes you in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm following right with Destiny. I don't think I have much to add. Go on that trip and enjoy yourself, and don't even go over there pining. Go out there, enjoy yourself, and then when it's time to come back on the airplane, you think a little bit about it. When you go into bed, think a little bit about it, and when you come back, you see where it is. This may help both of y'all. When you come back, you may be surprised. He may say, you know what? I thought about it. I should have went. I apologize. You just don't know. But go on this trip. Don't sit home and be miserable and be tight and then be frustrated. And then you say you walk around the house and you're not talking. Go on that trip. Enjoy yourself. Let your hair down. You deserve it.
Miss Nicole,
Mm-mm.
I'm a rap. It's gonna all tie together.
You gonna rap? You what? Victor, you gonna what?
Yeah. Miss Nicole, she says that I see a lot of women taking money out, paying for the generation. This lady should do the same thing. If you're going on this trip with his money, then you shouldn't go. Because if you're going with his money, then you should go together. Take whatever you put towards this trip, then go by yourself. But he did offer for her to go, but she wants to spend it with her man. So to me, it sounds like there's a breakdown in compatibility. So if y'all ain't compatible, if he done it once, he'll do it again. That's called a pattern, and it will keep happening. And if you feel like you're not a priority, you have no business being there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Veronica?
You all made great points tonight. Compatibility is definitely something that need to be within a relationship. And I think God has said that earlier on in the show. You have to be compatible. That's a big deal in a relationship. Compatible, you have to communicate. But final thoughts. Thank you so much for writing your letter. We appreciate you, and hopefully, you all can come to terms, and you all will be able. Uh huh. You all will be able to go on the trip together. Hopefully, like Fatine, I think he said you all can come to agreement, and he will be able to go on this trip together. So, yeah, and I do feel like friends, cousins, family are important, and we need to be there for one another when we're going through difficulties. But the thing is, this trip is the end of the month. So he got plenty of time. Well, the end of the month is next week, but he still have plenty of time, right? The end of the month next week. Oh, well, the week after, I don't know. Okay, but anyway, he had plenty of time to be there for his cousin. So I feel like hopefully he will come around, and you all will be able to take this trip that you've been planning for 3 years now. So on that note, we wish you nothing but the best. And thank y'all so much for joining us tonight as we spill this tea each and every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Thank y'all so much. All of you for leaving your comments. We'll be going through and looking at your comments. Some we didn't get to tonight, but we did get to a lot of comments tonight. Unfortunately, we didn't do that last week, but we did get to a lot of comments tonight. Thank y'all so much for watching. Destiny, go home and get in the bed because you.
Under. I'm trying to get to Walmart.
Oh, all right then.
I'm going to Walmart too.
Fatine go to Walmart every time you leave.
Yeah, you noticed that. I gotta get.
Thank you, brother Fatine, all the way from WBLS radio station, New York. Sleepy, Victor. Thank you so much, my brother. Coming straight from work, huh?
Running off about 6 hours for the last 2 days. I'm going to get in the bed, like
Yeah.
in between the mattress and the box spring.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Thank
to
you so
you,
much.
Sister Veronica,
Yeah.
Ronnie.
Thank you so much. I am out of here. That's all I'm gonna say. So y'all have a great night. Love upon one another. Have a great weekend, and just live this thing called life to the fullest. Stop saving all that money and spend it.
Shit.
Yeah. Have a good night, guys.
Buenas noches.